I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Steins Gate Zero, Season 1, Episode 21. There are a lot of things that could happen this episode. I don't even know where we're going to be. I don't know if we're going to be, in a comatose body. I don't know if we're going to be at the moment before that body reached its, breaking point. I don't know if we're going to be back before any of this happened. I don't know. I don't know.
Future. Past. We don't know.
Ruka looked great.
That's
the only thing I'm sure of anymore.
For the short time that we got to enjoy a more grown-up Ruka looked great.
Are we back in 2011? Or are we still in 2036? Or neither. Probably neither.
Some other
I don't
time.
know. Ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. To go back to 2011.
Mental burden alone will be colossal.
The improvement that make it possible to leap 2 weeks at once. Leap over 20 times. 3,000 time leaps. Jesus Christ. Wow. That hits.
That's how they... That's how they knew he woke up. Your partner.
Just like the OG, Kurisu. Last time you have to do a little bit more convincing than just telling her, though. Oh, look at the picture. Oh my god. I don't think we've ever seen that visual for the Time Leap Machine, have we?
No longer will I run.
Her kindness became my excuse.
Everyone's future. Music.
Come on. $2036. I'm just gonna keep going back in that comatose body a little bit before each time. What's the strain gotta feel like?
3,000 times, dude. The mental burden
this is
for
one.
once being colossal.
Each time you're feeling the effects of
the body
being
that
comatose.
He's
yeah. Wow.
I'm gonna cry. That's like they didn't believe it.
We're gonna watch 3,000 of these.
3,000 time leaps, quoting it back at her.
Jesus Christ.
What he is willing to do here 3,000 times. Yeah.
Yep.
He'll taste the pain of waking up every time.
I wonder if it'd get any better. You know? The closer you get to when you went comatose. Woo! Oh my god.
So he can just say that to her every single freaking time.
Where are we gonna stop it again, though?
Are we gonna get a countdown?
Okay.
2 weeks before today, you're not even here.
Okay, right before the torture, right?
He's good.
That's a lot.
2 weeks is great.
336 hours. Oh, look at her.
Then wouldn't it all be for naught? He knows. He knows what he's playing with. Holy shit.
Hundreds.
Oh,
Kid Suzaha!
She's still alive!
Oh my god! 11 years down.
Dies in 2025.
Okay.
Turns the tables on you.
S
10 minutes.
その10分間でこの地図と敵の配置を覚えて。おい。あなたを私がナビゲートして脱出していた。私を持っていること自体があなたの死因になる可能性が非常に高い。アマデウスのアプリを落とす。念のため通信機の電源を落とした目をくらませられるかもしれない。みんなをおとりに。そんなこと。
Wow.
落ち着いて。2036年からタイムリープを繰り返してここまで来た。そうよね。あなたは未来のみんなを観測している。死ぬことはありえない。大丈夫にゃ、今日も。
They can all hear it?
Smiles on their face.
Look at them!
Oh, look at Daru! You gotta believe in us, dude.
I'm emotional. They were tracking through Amadeus.
Fuck you.
Ignore the rest
Fuck
of them.
you.
Let's get in!
岡部倫太郎のマーカーが複数現れました。2つ、3つ、わかりません。突然アマデウスからの反応が。俺はもう諦めない。自分に嘘をつくことなんて言い聞かせて。
No longer pretend I made the right choice.
して抗い戦い。
In the intro, they're running, and he catches up to her.
俺は信じる。思いは絶対にそこへたどり着いてみせる。
2017, 2016. Oh, this is like from OG Steins Gate. 0707 2011.
ヒアジョーさん、俺を殴れ。また？
何を言ってる？
遠慮はいらない。まだ俺に対して思っていた憤り、あの思い、その全てをぶつけて俺を殴れ。これはけじめだ。今まで見て見ぬふりをしてきた、恐怖から逃げてきたこの俺のけじめだ。本当にいい？
橋田さん。
やってくれ。
おー。
岡部さん。
いたぞ。さすが我がフェイバリットライトアームの俺はタイムリープの未来から帰ってきた。オカリン
It's oh my god.
Oh,
You're so wrong.
Don't fucking tease me. Maho, this is about to be the greatest experience of your life.
Look at Donnie's
Get the white
face!
lab coat
He's
out!
like, yes! The world's ruling structure? Towers like us?
岡部さん。
Yeah, he's like crying. The lolly girl.
これこそが我が聖なる白金の鎧。これに袖を我は真に眠りから覚めるのだ。
橋田さん。
前のオカリンに毛で尻滅裂で手がつけられない中二病、僕らのリーダーのオカリンにリープマシンは完成する。ここにいる俺、ロリッコよ。
ロリッコ言うな。
ラボメンナンバー009の称号を手足となりオペレーションに参加するがウィー。いやジョセフィーヌよ。
Safina!
これよりすぐにラボメンを招集するのだ。
一体今日何の集まりなんですか？岡部。
今日まだ。これより新たなるオペレーションを開始する。この作戦にはラボメン全員の協力。
ゆりちゃんと鈴葉さんは？
萌えにゃんも用事があるとかメールが来たにゃん。
さんたちは？
案ずるでない。すべて想定の範囲内でこのオペレーションは実行される。
だとすると
作戦名はオペレーションベガ。
エタを奪還する？
そうだ、確認してみるがいい。レスキネンの手によって隔離されている。
は？
お買い手がクラッキングされている。全域には機関の手に
The
よって
organization
が張り巡らされている。今すぐにラジカンの周りに自警団を。怪しい動きをしている外国人が片っ端から通報しろ。公衆電話を使えばいけるはず。勝手にゃ。ラジカンってがすでに向かっているのは
Part-time warrior!
止めないと。
収束によって同じ結果となる可能性が高い。リオスクーのならば。オペレーションの目的はただ一つ。マユリと鈴葉を無事に過去へと旅立たせること。絶対にもう繰り返させ
I
ましょう。
won't repeat that mistake again. Get Mayuri to the past. Sigh.
この電波障害は組織の仕業だ。協力を仰ぎたい。ミスターフェルディナント・ブラウン。
お茶置いておきますね。ありがとう。いえ、そんなことないわ。さっき
No
あの人に
fucking
言っていたでしょ。
一人のメカニック面のサポートを頼む。
サポート？
I know, oh, and he asked if he finally is a lab member.
さんを喜ぶのが不思議だったけど、少し分かったような気がする。
He's exhilarating. He fills you with energy.
すぐに連絡を。はい。
待っていてくれ。マユリ、必ず助ける。
鈴さん。いた。じっとして。商談がかすめた。
You think you're a fucking mad scientist? Just fucking wait, you piece of shit, loser, garbage, trash. That's what you are.
But is he aware of who Mayuri is to Kaguri?
それをぶつける時間はもうない。少し触らせてもらえば。What? ウィンター。
オカリンおじさん。オカリン。
なぜ君がここにいる？ウィンターロ。誰から？カガリはここには来ない。
Oh!
ラジカン周りもすでに手は打たせてもらった。レスキネ。自らを全てを見通せる神とその策略は全て打ち破らせてもらったぞ。あら、君は何を言ってラボメンナンバー002椎名真由里よ。オペレーションアークライト。全て知ってる。
オカリン。
もしないうちに戦場になる。急げ。
オカリンおじさん。
真由里を頼む。間に合うはずだ。これで。
Be too late. Be too late. Not too early, be too late.
Okay, that was Steins Gate 0. Season 1, episode 21.
Wow. Wow.
You know,
That
like,
episode made all of this so, like, worth it. Like, even more so. That episode was amazing.
best episode of Steins Gate 0.
Yeah, like, the pacing of that entire episode, the feelings that were happening, and the emotions.
I almost wish it didn't end the way that it did.
Okay, yeah, I can understand
Not
that.
just in, like, terms of, like, what the fuck, because we can talk about the consequences, why it might have happened, and what the outcome might
like,
be, for
our
sure.
theories of why
But
it happened at the
in
end.
terms of, like, pacing, I almost wish that, like, this episode ended maybe right after
He appears on the roof and he looks at Mayuri and Mayuri sees the look on his face. It could have ended there.
I was gonna say maybe before Ocarine even, like, right when he says Elsai Kongro.
Okay,
Like,
I get you.
I think that I wish it ended there so that I could just...
Timing-wise, if they had left an intro and outro,
Mhm.
it would have ended there. That's around, like, 19 minutes.
I selfishly wish that so that all I could do right now is gush and bask in the greatness of what I just saw and not have to give any time to any type of sadness or failure because of how much it took and what it means to get here for not only him but me. Like...
But it makes sense why they did us like this.
I know.
If we know... Because the whole beginning of this episode is us being aware with him how much of a fucking fucked up burden going back is going to be. Like, how much he is going to have to suffer and how much he's going to have to do in order to get back 3,000 time leaps. And then he's not gonna give up, and we have this, like, the running, and everything's super inspiring.
But by the nature of what Steins Gate is, original series or this, narratively, it makes sense that something would happen here. That I have no issue with, and I think is consistent.
Mm-hmm.
My only thing is, like, since we brought up pacing, I feel like I don't know, like, just because pacing is brought up, my only, like, personal, like, God, I wish that, I don't even know how many episodes are in Steins Gate 0, but I would have been okay having an extra episode in here and letting me end the episode with, oh my God, everything's gonna work out just so next episode I'm fucking devastated, you know? But I think it makes perfect sense why it's not just like a perfect happy ending here. This was it.
That once
That's
he
not,
decides to not give up
Yeah.
is when things are able to work out.
I like that. I
Yeah.
find that consistent, and that's a story that I love. But
You
goddamn,
don't want him to get rewarded. In terms of writing, you can't reward him as soon as he realizes that his head's been in the sand.
yeah. But oh my god, what a fucking
to test
episode,
that.
man.
Mhm.
That was phenomenal. I have so much I have so much of an investment
Mhm.
in this character. I think top 3 all-time anime male protagonists, hands down for
I
me
would
subjectively.
completely
Like,
agree
he
with you.
is so fucking important to me. And seeing him come back the way, I thought that we might never see it. I knew that I always wanted it in Steins Gate Zero. I didn't know what it would be like if we actually got it. And if I'm completely honest, I think part of me was worried that once we actually got it, it wouldn't feel like it did in Steins Gate and the character that I loved, But fuck if my worries were for nothing, because it felt perfect. It felt like everything I ever wanted. I love what's the best part? The buildup of asking Daru for the punch was part of him. Like, that's part of the Hyoin Kyoma that prefaces the actual, theatrics of it. He needed something that big and dramatic to bring that character back. And I loved Daru's reaction was everything. Maho's reaction was everything. I just kind of shut off and was crying after that happened.
The characters' reactions not only to... So, throughout the episode, characters reacting to him and what he's decided to do, phenomenal. It really brings up... There was a line in here that was, Okabe realizing that he really wasn't alone in terms of protecting the future.
Mhm.
And I think that brings out that theme and that idea even more. We have all of them already being filled in by Amadeus, by Kurisu, about this plan for Okabe to not get kidnapped. And they're all already listening in and running around and ready to be helping. And then here, where they're all so ready to help him and so, tears in their eyes, so happy to see him the way that he is Hyoin Kyoma. And just, gosh, to the fact that even Maho's characters, I see why all of them are so happy right now. I can get it. I can understand it.
Because, what comes with what might falsely be mistaken is just face value one-dimensional insanity is truly, in my opinion, emotional intelligence at its finest. The idea of Maho recognizing that with Ruka, to me, shows that the character of Hyoin Kyoma being a part of Okabe is that piece of him that is able to see what would be important for Ruka and what Ruka would want to hear and what would make Ruka happy and give that to Ruka. And that's what happened here. And that's what Maho was able to see as an example of why this was so missed.
Right. I love that Ruka gets that attention there.
Yeah.
I think that it makes a lot of sense that Okabe would want to give Ruka that, little special
After last
aside
episode.
and attention, especially with, what happens last episode, what he knows that Ruka in the future, that Ruka is the character that all the other characters identify as the one that was wishing and longing to see him the most again, and that in the scene in this episode where Ferris and Ruka run in after he's time leaped for the first time, he envisions Ruka dying as Ruka hugs him, and it's of course after what he's seen he's going to be making sure to let Ruka feel like a lab member ASAP.
Yeah.
An appreciated lab member.
God, another fucking amazing thing. Maho Sofina. Do you think Safina is Christina mixed with Salieri?
Yeah, I like that.
That's my head.
He had to give her a name, and it's calling her the lolly girl. I was dying. I was this is it makes so much sense.
I liked the language he used with not calling her his assistant, but acknowledging that she is more helpful in the scientific
It was
sense
like
of
a
the
right
words.
hand.
I liked that it wasn't like the replacement Kurisu or anything of the sort, you know? God damn. I loved that the entire time of time leaping 3,000 times was reminiscent of the first series, of having Amadeus and Okabe share this, okay, I need your help after time leaping. And
Just as
completely
he
parallel.
shared
Yep.
it with Kurisu in Steins Gate to save
God.
Mayuri, he gets to utilize knowing Kurisu and knowing if he says a specific thing, she will immediately help him and help him figure things out. She can be trusted like that, even if she is just the memory AI version of Kurisu. Amazing.
Seeing
amazing.
Kid Suzuha really fucked me up.
That I am so glad that they like went from making sure to show us the photo
picture.
that we've already seen on Daru's desk as he's like setting up the time leap machine, and then into giving us a timeline location of where Okabe has gotten back to, and like seeing Yuki alive and
Yeah.
Suzuha behind her, and then the little interaction. Oh, and he calls her part-time
Yep.
warrior in
Oh my
this
God.
episode, and I'm like, this feels so good.
It feels so good. It's like interesting because it's like calling upon nostalgia without it actually being nostalgic.
Really great line. Kindness became my excuse somewhere like along the line.
Yeah.
Mayuri's kindness became his excuse. He already knows what his... We don't know exactly what his mission is or what his hopes are for when he travels back. At least I wasn't thinking I knew exactly what he was gonna do, but that line should have told me that he was going to make sure she got back into the past.
Yeah. The entire sequence of the running after Amadeus said, give me 10 minutes, was so fucking good. I loved, like, it's like about, it's the same thing that happened at the end once the character came back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody just having this unfound, like this pure, immediate reaction of love and support to whatever this person asks of you, or what another person thinks that this person needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I adore it. It's
Of
the best
course,
thing in the world.
They didn't give us the intro when we have him running and we have a shot of like
Still got the
Kurisu
intro
kind of
song,
moving
though.
as if it was the intro where he's running after her and she turns around and
Yeah.
looks at him. That was awesome.
Amazing. So, going forward, no fucking clue. I don't know if this is going to be like a situation where we look at the rubble and this time we don't see time machine debris.
Like, he says at the very end, they're too early. What if they are actually just too late to actually blow up the time machine and they do get to the past? Maybe, but I don't have good feelings.
The idea of where we need to get to still on the table is a version of Mayuri that would slap Kiyoma and a version of Kiyoma that would be able to receive a video and decide that he needs to deceive himself. And to get there, I don't know. It could exist in an infinite number of possibilities, right?
Right in this subject, it could be the fact that Hyoin Kiyoma has awakened here. The time machine did get blown up. He needs to make sure that the Mayuri back then would make the choice.
Yeah.
And so he records the video.
But the video that's being seen by Hyoin Kiyoma is a different video and comes after the slap. You know? So like it would be what would need to be done to influence the past Mayuri that we haven't seen or we didn't see that would change this, you know? I don't know if there's some Japanese lore, just like Ruka, if they ate a certain type of food more often, it would change a gender. Can you eat something throughout your life that makes you more aggressive? I don't know. Like, but in all seriousness though, like, I'm really interested to see what that solution is going to be. Like, how to actually get there. Because I don't think, at the moment, at least, that it was a different Mayuri we saw, you know, who did it, or anything like that.
I think it's the past Mayuri.
But just something needs to be, like, what is that thing for her?
I still think the video could be this current
And it was
Kyoin
just
Kyoma,
her...
because he has the lines of deceiving the world and deceiving himself. Deceive himself about what year it is when he records the video.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that. Like, I'm not saying that it couldn't, like, that video doesn't contain this Kyoma. I'm saying that that couldn't have been the thing that would cause Mayuri to punch him.
Yeah.
Because she punches him before the video is seen.
Right.
What would need to happen in order for Mayuri to choose what she did and do differently?
I mean, I had said before that I thought maybe she was a 50-50 there.
Yeah.
Like, she could have done either.
I
and
agree.
Maybe something doesn't need to actually move her one way or the other, and it's just a whim, a choice that she makes. I'm not positive though. I guess we need to talk about why we thought something went wrong here, why it didn't work, and if the time machine does get blown up at the end.
Yeah.
What we think is the reason.
I think it could just be like a certainty, a point in time, much like Kurisu and or Mayuri's death would be, and this, finding out how to change this, could be the precursor to coming up with the idea of, like, the thing that needed to happen was Okabe witnessing Kurisu lying in a puddle of what looks like to be her blood and being convinced that she's dead. There might need to be something that happens here about the time machine being blown up in a certain way, but a twist to it that you could kind of, like, you know,
where
a
he's
loophole.
creating a deception.
Yeah.
I mean, he already does create a deception in order to trap Leskinen, and what his form of the deception is, it's not Kaguri, it's Moeka underneath the helmet. Maybe it has to be something else that needs to be a deception.
Like, what if you try to do the same thing, but you get everybody involved, right? Amane, all the friends. You try to come up with, like, a prop of a time machine that actually doesn't work at all.
Some
and it's just
other
cardboard,
building.
and you put that on the current building. Everybody's an actor in it. Everybody knows it's going to happen. You do the same thing. Helicopter comes, blows up the decoy of the time machine, but that needs to happen in history, but you have the real time machine elsewhere.
Another thing is that we know that Maho, unlike Kurisu, is able to complete a 2-week time leap machine. That's another thing.
True.
He knows that for a fact, that she's able to create a 2-week one. Could utilize something like that.
True.
My thoughts were either Reyes has tabs on Leskinen. Reyes, as soon as she realizes that there's this commotion around the radio building, she gets suspicious.
That's true.
I feel like they probably had eyes on certain people and the building probably way before they had this specific time that they knew to go to the time machine.
Yeah.
So it could be that the commotion that he creates is what creates suspicion and quick thinking and quick acting on the enemy's part.
Yeah.
And that he's not able to move quick enough in that regard. Like, they're probably immediately suspicious by certain actions, or they have tabs on Leskinen. Obviously, Leskinen was there. Was he called? Was he notified to get there? Like, how'd they get him there exactly when they got him there?
The knowledge of this happening, like when it was going to happen and what specific day.
Yeah, but, like, I feel like in one of the iterations, Kaguri beats up Reyes.
Yeah.
To switch places with her.
Yeah.
But Reyes wasn't there and wasn't beat up.
Yeah.
So my, like, timing is thrown off.
It's just, like, what information was previously conveyed and to which parties that led Judy there as opposed to now. I like the idea that community watch and shit, informants were already taken, would already take.
Then Reyes might have felt like she couldn't walk towards that building or something like that.
Or wasn't given intel, you know. Two things that I have real quick. One, the detail of the pain that Okabe would go through within each time leap, not just being emotional, but the waking up from a coma and having to, like, you're in a body that hasn't used a muscle in how many years, you know? I think that was a really horrific, torturous, great touch to add.
Yeah, a touch to add, because we already knew that from even Steins Gate, the mental turmoil and emotional turmoil that this character went through in that series, but also is going through in this series, to add on to that an actual physical pain as well. That's like, you gave up after the emotional and mental, but now that you're choosing to get back into it, you also have to deal with the physical.
Yeah. And then my other one was that I love that Maho's a lab member.
009?
Yeah, part of me hates that there's gonna be that there's gonna be badges made without her name on it, but you know, whatever. I can deal with it. Alright, that's all I have for you.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time.